Jesus.
What happens when temptation enters a home built on trust? At first glance, Love on the Run looks like a simple Nollywood drama about a married woman and her husband's apprentice. Welcome back to the channel. In today's movie breakdown, we are analyzing the Nollywood drama Love on the Run. This film explores the fragile balance between trust and temptation inside a household where one wrong decision almost destroys one innocent life. Let's begin by looking at the foundation of the story. So take note of this foundation, which is the trust side of it. The story begins in what appears to be a stable and peaceful home. The husband is portrayed as a responsible and kind man who not only loves his wife better, but also cares deeply about his apprentice, Lawrence. In fact, he trusts him and even plans to increase his salary and send him to school.
You may save. Shay, you want to take my wife?
Oh, come on. I've not said so. No, see, far from that.
What are you thinking, man?
This detail is important because it establishes something crucial in the narrative, which is trust. Lawrence is not just an employee in this house, he's almost treated like family. However, every strong story introduces conflict that threatens stability, and Love on the Run, that conflict appears in the form of Betha's hidden desire. Betha begins to develop an attraction towards Lawrence. What makes this dangerous is not the attraction itself, but the power imbalance that exists between them. She's the wife of his master, which put Lawrence in an extremely vulnerable position. Now let's talk about the temptation and the internal struggle. Lawrence now faces a difficult moral situation. On one side, there is temptation coming directly from the master's wife. On the other side, his own friend encourages him to take advantage of the opportunity. His friend represents a common societal mindset, the idea that when opportunity presents itself, one should exploit it for personal gain. In this case, the advice is simple: accept the benefit, enjoy the situation, and then eventually run away. But Lawrence's character represents something different. He struggles internally, but he also shows restraint. This internal battle is what makes his character compelling. The film does not present him as perfect. Instead, it shows a young man who is tempted but still chooses to do the right thing. And this leads us to the most important turning point in the story. What is the turning point? The tension reaches its peak when Betha attempts to seduce Lawrence directly. For a moment, it appears as though Lawrence might give in to the temptation. But suddenly, something changes. Lawrence pushes Betha away and runs out of the room. This moment is critical because it reveals Lawrence's true character. He chooses dignity over opportunity. But unfortunately, this decision triggers the most dangerous consequence in the story. As Lawrence runs out, Vera, the husband's niece, sees him with his shirt unbuttoned. The situation looks suspicious, and Betha quickly takes advantage of this moment. To protect herself, she had to lie. She tells her husband that Lawrence attempted to take advantage of her. And just like that, the entire situation flips. The innocent man becomes the accused.
I didn't know anything. I will deal with you. Move it.
Now let's talk about this first section of this, the power of false accusation. One of the strongest themes in Love on the Run is destructive and power of false accusation. Because of Betha's position in the household, her words carry more weight than Lawrence's. Lawrence is now arrested. His reputation is destroyed almost instantly. This moment reflects a harsh reality in many societies. When authority and power are involved, truth can easily be overshadowed by manipulation. But the story introduces two important characters who refuse to accept things at face value, which is Vera and Jeff. Now let's talk about the section 5, which is the search for truth. Vera begins to question what she saw that night. Something about the situation does not feel right to her. Instead of jumping to a conclusion, she listens to Lawrence. When he finally gets the opportunity to explain what really happened. At the same time, Jeff, the husband's close friend, also becomes suspicious. Together, Vera and Jeff decide to investigate the situation rather than blindly accept the accusation. This is where the story transitions from a simple drama into something closer to a psychological investigation. They approached the husband with a fair proposal. What is the proposal? If Lawrence is lying, he must face the law. But if the accusation turns out to be false, then the truth must be revealed. Now, let's talk about section 6, the trap. To uncover the truth, the husband takes a strategic step, installs the CCTV cameras in the house, then he pretends to leave home after receiving an emergency call late at night. This moment creates the perfect test. If Beta truly believes Lawrence is dangerous, she would have avoided him completely. But if her intentions were something else, the truth would eventually expose itself. And that is exactly what happens. Believing that she is finally alone with Lawrence again, Beta makes another attempt to seduce him. But this time, everything is captured on camera. The lie that nearly destroyed Lawrence's life is finally exposed. Now, that leads to section 7, which is the justice and the consequences. With the evidence now clear, the husband finally understands what truly happened. The betrayer cut deep.
You are a liar.
Not only did his wife break his trust, but she also falsely accused an innocent man who he considered family. As a result, he makes a firm decision. Beta is driven out of the house. Lawrence, on the other hand, is not only forgiven, but elevated. The husband declares him as a younger brother and promises to support his future. This ending restores justice and dignity. So, my final analysis is this. At its core, Love on the Run is a powerful lesson about dignity, temptation, and truth. The film reminds viewers that temptation can destroy even the strongest relationship when it is not controlled. It also highlights the importance of seeking truth before passing judgment. Lawrence's story proves that integrity may bring suffering in the short term, but eventually truth finds its way to the surface. And perhaps the biggest lesson of all this, a single lie can ruin a life, but truth will always run faster in the end. If you enjoyed this analysis of Love on the Run, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you think Lawrence handled the situation the right way, or would you have done something differently? Let's discuss. And don't forget to subscribe for more Nollywood movie breakdown and story analysis. Thanks for watching.